We have to treat ourselves like someone we're trying to help. But like too often in life, we fail to realize how much assistance, knowing yourself or being there for yourself can actually contribute to who you are. Only you can help you. You're the only person that knows how to help you. And I'm not saying that in the sense of like no, people don't know you enough to provide you with support. Like if you're going to therapy, if you're talking to people about your problems, I'm not saying they don't know. I'm not saying they can't help you. I'm not saying anything like that. What I'm saying is some of our issues and problems are inherent to our own perspective, not necessarily inherent to a circumstance. And in saying that, I mean that you know, in knowing ourselves, we understand our perceptions more frequently. And when you're able to know your perception, you understand why you react to things a certain way, and why certain things get to you, certain things affect you. So it's all about treating yourself like someone you're trying to help, rather than creating a dichotomy between yourself and a situation, yourself and a problem. Understanding that you are in a way the problem. Not to say that you're responsible for everything that happens to you, but in terms of some of the impacts of the issue, some of the negative aspects of it, how you're affected by it, and how you allow it to carry into your day to day, we somewhat have to take some responsibility for it. And I'm not saying with like grand, immoral, crazy action. I'm talking about the day to day stuff that tends to get on us, like maybe we didn't do something, now we're beating ourselves up about it. Or maybe we want to do something, but we're putting it in the back of our mind because we don't think that we can achieve it. It's about putting yourself in a place that you realize you can achieve, or you realize that you're the only person who can gauge your own success or be monumental to your own success. I think I realized this, oh, I don't even say a while ago. It's kind of a new revelation, but I feel like I've always understood it to a sense. It's like, I've always said, treat yourself like someone you're trying to help. But it's not about, just the good things. It's not about just doing stuff you like. It's about getting yourself out of the negativity, and also realizing that like too much good is sometimes a little bad. And I don't mean like hanging around with people. I mean like sometimes you need time to reset. Sometimes you need to spend time genuinely alone, or just take a break. Self-improvement is a long journey. It's something that people do for years and years and years and years. And it's not something that I feel stops. It's not something that I feel ever gets to a point where people are like, oh yeah, I'm done self-improving. I don't think it should. He who thinks the journey is over is truly lost. All that to say that you got to give yourself grace. Give yourself those kind of breaks. Understand that, as much as you want to change, you have to give yourself the patience and time to change. Even though even if you perceive time as a relative thing, sometimes we have to combat the mental stigmas that we already have, the mental biases that we already have within our mind, and everything like that. It's about understanding, being there for yourself to understand why you feel these certain ways, why things impact you the way you do, why you react to certain things a certain way. And a lot of that is learned due to our circumstance, our environment. And it also takes time to unlearn things. And it also requires us to learn about ourselves to unlearn things. You need to first understand why things impact you. And that starts with understanding, your own emotions, your own feelings, your own opinions about certain things, and how they contribute to you as a person. And you deciding whether or not these things are truly inherent to your character, or something you're trying to rid of. Some stuff doesn't serve you, some stuff won't serve you. And realizing that stuff doesn't serve you, it gives you almost a free pass to not allow certain negativity to slip into your mental perspective. Realizing that not every statement, not every opinion, not every connotation that you put on the world really has to impact you. You can think a certain class sucks, but that doesn't necessarily mean you have to let it suck outside the classroom. Not saying that people aren't allowed to complain, not saying you're not allowed to feel some type of way, but in realizing that, talking about it and feeling that negativity outside of the circumstance won't help you, it's just going to lead you back to more positivity. It's going to get you back to the state where you can do stuff that you enjoy, or get rid of, some of the stuff that's negative that you don't enjoy. It's about giving yourself the space to be present, giving yourself the time to be present, getting things out of your mind and out of your space, making sure your energy is really being used for yourself rather than others, or not to say don't give to others. Valentine's Day almost coming up. Not to say don't give to others, but to say realize when you need to give to yourself. I feel like a lot of times in my life, I'm relatively extroverted. I feel like I give a lot of energy to other people, but I also realize when I need that space, need that time to kind of get back to myself. Because you can be on that bender, go outside, have fun for a long time, but I feel like it eventually gets to you. It's part of a cycle. And I feel like the reason I've been able to get to the point I'm at right now is because of the isolation I endured, or voluntarily endured, I guess, during winter break. Being able to spend so much time with myself and understand myself to that degree helped me understand myself and the world around me to a better extent. That's not to say I can't be outside and learn the same things. I went to an art gala today, and just seeing people like perform, seeing people's art, seeing people's perspective on things just made me realize like life really has so much more than we tend to give it. There's so much more to see. Like there's a story in pretty much everything. There's a story to us. There's a story to every plant you see. There's a story to everything. I might sound crazy saying that, but I honestly like in opening your perspective to the fact that, there's so much around you. It makes you really appreciate your own story as well as others. And realizing that every story is complex, you realize how special your own is. You're not like anybody else. So like sometimes you have to write your own path and make sure you're comfortable and make sure you love it. At least make yourself love it. Formulate yourself into something that you can love. Not to say you shouldn't love yourself now. You should always love your baseline. But love yourself so much that you promote change within yourself for the negative parts of yourself. Because, I still have negative parts of myself that I'm still trying to change, but I can say confidently that I love myself. I love everything I do. I love, the way I interact with the world around me. It's fun to sort of still have that childlike perspective, but also the modern day like adult responsibility and maturity about it. It's like being able to choose whether or not to take something seriously and realizing when you need to take something seriously. And I feel like that type of talent, that type of skill makes life so much more easy. He suffers more than necessary who suffers before it's necessary. Sometimes we don't need to suffer. Sometimes it doesn't have to be all the way in our mind for us to be able to grasp a certain situation. It just has to be there. And we have to be there to experience it. We have to be there to ensure that we're not negatively connotating it without real reference. I feel like we do it all the time. I do it all the time, or at least in the past have. Sometimes you just let certain perceptions or, your own mental connotations and biases plague the world around you. It's about projection. Realizing when your negativity is influencing the external world and when the external world's negativity is influencing your internal world. Being able to separate the two and being able to realize where you can set yourself in the middle and where you're able to help yourself. Treating yourself like someone you're trying to help is about understanding. Understanding, some stuff may make you sad, and understanding that it's okay to be in that sadness. It's okay to feel a certain way. It's about giving yourself grace to feel too, not just to experience. You can't stay happy all the time. It's a good goal. I've been happy. I've been happy for a while. I'm a happy person. It's good to be happy, but light is only in reference to dark sometimes. Sometimes we need to endure certain things. Sometimes we need to endure a couple stressful encounters in order to truly relax. Not saying that everyone needs to do that, but sometimes, to learn, you need to experience. Sometimes things don't go your way, but sometimes they do. It's about understanding that no matter what happens, you are able to keep moving forward. And you're going to be there with yourself because you're the only person that's going to be with you 100% of the time. And I know I've been rambling. I kind of made this in a quick fashion. I don't know. I was pretty passionate about it today. But if you made it this far in the video, I'm gonna cut it at 10 minutes like my old ones. Thank you so much. Just thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't truly express the gratitude I feel for each and every one of you. Um, I love communicating with y'all. I missed a call from one of y'all earlier today, but I really wanted to talk to you. So I'm gonna try to do that tomorrow. Set that up. But yeah, keep reaching out. I love communicating with y'all. I love seeing the Instagram DMs up at Profound Pondering. I read all the comments. I try to the best of my ability, at least. I reply to a couple. I can't really reply to all of them. It's gonna take me hours. But I read all of them. Like, I read your stories. I appreciate y'all sharing, those parts of yourself with me. It really helps me understand sometimes better. Like, I feel like I made this video only in reference to certain stuff I was able to read. And I realized, like, what that really means. Like, you guys referenced a quote I said, you have to treat yourself like someone you're trying to help. And in reading your stories and reading, like, certain people's perspective on it, I realized, my own perspective on it in a way. Like, oh, you view it like this? I viewed it a little bit differently, but I'm going to share that. So I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. We got a lot more to come. I'm going to keep posting consistently. And thanks again. Happy Valentine's Day. I think it's coming out. I don't know when it's coming out. It's coming out the 10th. So I guess that's coming out. Make sure you get your gifts for your Valentine. If you don't have one, that's fine. Be your own Valentine.